Hello everybody and welcome to a bonus stream. We don't usually do Thursday night streams, but a game launched on the Switch eShop today that I really wanted to share and show you what it was about, because it is a Hatsune Miku game and I do love Hatsune Miku. I love Hatsune Miku a great deal, so I thought it would be fun to just play it. I've never actually live streamed a Miku game before because they've all been rhythm games, and unfortunately with Krypton, the music licenses are so strict. If you actually have music on, they pillar your YouTube channel into hell and back. So the only way you can show Miku footage is with no music, which makes it a bit pointless to do a rhythm game stream on your YouTube. So this one, thankfully, I can turn the music off and still show you what it's about, and that's what I've done. You won't hear any music today because I don't want to get copyright strict. I don't want to get copyright strikes down to put me into oblivion and back again, but I'll show you how it plays. We can talk about it. It is a wonderful game. It is a Picross clone basically, and if you've ever played Picross before, you'd know that it's one of the better puzzle experiences out there. So let's jump into it, shall we? Now, this game was originally released on the iPhone as Miku Logi, but it is slightly different here on Switch. Miku Logi was just puzzles and then some gallery art unlocks that you get along the way. This one has, as you can see, this nice little interface here to start off with. Hello Diddy Ram, welcome to the stream. These aren't anime girls, these are these are Vocaloids. They're something very special indeed. So as you can see in here, you've got puzzles here, you've got puzzles here. So puzzles, then you've got this music thing, so as you play and complete puzzles you can actually unlock music. You couldn't do that in the iPhone game, so that's pretty cool given that Miku's all about the music. Then there's a gallery, so you can check out the artworks. Each time you complete a puzzle you get a new artwork to unlock, and that's pretty cool because there's a lot of great Miku artwork out there. And then there's settings and stuff. There is no there's no story in this game, Diddy Ram. It's all just a puzzler. There's no self-insert, you don't need to worry about that. So, in here you can actually choose your little avatar. Now, obviously I'm going to pick Miku, but Rin's pretty cute. I'm a big fan of Rin as well. And there's Kaito here. Kaito's the dude, he's my man. But I'm going to pick Miku for this stream. Now let's just get straight into the puzzles, shall we? Once again, and I'll say this again for people who maybe listen or watch this back on repeat later, you're not going to hear any music here. I can't play music. If I do, I will get copyright strikes because the Vocaloid music is particularly strict with that, so I can't play the music. But there is lovely music. It's all Vocaloid music, obviously. Normal. So in here we've got all the puzzles. I've completed a couple today, just a few that I did this morning. But these are the easy puzzles, so there's 45 of those. 45 easy level puzzles, then there is another, well, these are the normal level puzzles, and as you can see there's a lot more than 45. Let's just keep going. We'll find out exactly how many there are. 45 easy puzzles. Let's keep count, shall we? 150 medium level puzzles, so we're at 195 puzzles. And then difficult puzzles. These were the ones that would be a bit more time consuming. So we've got 195 puzzles so far. Add on another 150. So 345. There are 345 puzzles to work through. So we'll just jump into one of the easy ones first. Yeah, unfortunately music games aren't. This is, like I said, I think just before you jumped on the stream, Diddy, I really would like to do a stream of a Miku game, but all the Miku games are rhythm games, and if I have to turn the music off, it is absolutely pointless to do that. But this is not a rhythm game, this is a puzzle game, so I can stream this one. Okay, so here we go. If you've ever played Picross before, then you know how these work. You fill in the little dots until you've filled in the whole thing. Hopefully you don't make any mistakes, of course, because that would be embarrassing. And as you fill them in, the puzzle fills itself in and gets completed. There's a certain logic to these things. I'm not going to bother explaining it on the stream. You kind of need to figure it out for yourself. But there is a logic to how these work. It's very similar logic, I guess, to crosswords. I'm not quite sure how that looks like a choker, but there you go. So when you finish a puzzle, then you get a little picture. The pictures themselves aren't necessarily related to the Miku characters, but the art gallery that you unlock. Like I said, you get one new art gallery item with each puzzle you complete. The art gallery stuff that you unlock is very Miku orientated. No, this is not Minesweeper. This is... Have you never played a Picross game before, Diddy? Never played one. Nonograms. That's what they're called. Like the genre of puzzle is nonogram. I can't believe that. How can you not have played a nonogram before? These are the best puzzlers of all. So actually I better do something to explain how to play. So as you can see, there's numbers here. There's numbers on the left and numbers on the top. The numbers refer to how many of the squares in that row or column can be filled with blocks. So in this case, for example, this one, on the top row here, you've got 2 and 2. That means that there are 2 lots of 2 blocks that you need to fill in. So if I fill in this one here as I need to, see, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 lots of 2. Then if we look at this row here, there is 5. And as there's only 5 spots, that means every single one needs to be filled in. So you need to use logic to basically figure out which of the squares need to be filled in. So for example, with this one, if I look vertically, there's 1 lot of 2 in here. We've already got 1 here. And we can't put the other block there because that's been crossed out. That means the other block must go there. And voila, we filled in that row. And as a result, we also filled in this row because that needed to be 4. We weren't sure which one was missing out, but thanks to our amazing skills of deduction, we figured out that this is the one that doesn't get filled in on that row. You've never played a game before. Fair enough, Diddy. You only read visual novels. I'm sorry, read visual novels. So there's Kaito's scarf. Actually, this is interesting. So I have played the iPhone one a lot, and I had a couple of people ask me today if this one's similar to the iPhone game. The iPhone game, the puzzles themselves weren't in any way related to the Vocaloids. They were pictures of ducks and bells and trees and stuff. But that is Kaito's scarf. So they've obviously gone away and made sure that the puzzles are actually more relevant to the characters this time, which is neat. It makes a little bit more sense. We'll do one more easy puzzle. Oh, so this puzzle's now a little bit larger, as you can see. So we need to look through and figure out what can we fill in first. And if we look down the bottom here, that one makes pretty obvious sense. So 8 and 1, which means there'll be 8 spaces filled in, at least a 1 space gap, and then 1. So if you add 8 plus the space plus 1, it becomes 10. So it becomes pretty obvious how to fill in this when there's only 10 spaces here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, space 1. Now, as a result of doing that, if we look at this row here, this column, sorry, if we look at the column, we've got 2, 5, and 1. Now, that means that there needs to be at least 1 space between the 1 and the next lot of blocks. And as we've got 1 here, that means this one can't possibly have a filled-in block. So we can put an X there, because there can't be a filled-in block there. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space 1, 2. And as you can see, we can now fill this in. Space 1, 2. Now, across the top, we can see that the last number there is 5, 3. 3 being the last number. And we've already got 1 there. That means these 2 must be filled in to make 3. And that must be a gap. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not quite sure at this stage. One of those spaces will still be a gap. But because one of those spaces will be a gap, we also know that that one, and that one, and that one have to be filled in, because you need to have 5 spaces in a row filled in, meaning that we've got now either that one or that one will also be a gap. Because of that, we can now fill in a couple here, so 2 and 2. And because we've now filled in that whole row, that is all filled in. 1 and 2, that one's also now completed. 2. That'll be a gap, and that'll be a gap. Which means, now when we look down here, we get into the logic of the nonogram. This one is now 2 in a row, so that can't be the 1 that we're seeing here on the row on the left. We need 1 and 4. And the first number is the one furthest to the left, so that has to be filled in. And in fact it does anyway, because you look at the top here, the column, it's 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. So we can fill all of that in. This is indeed a puzzle game. Are you a fan of puzzle games? I don't think we've ever chatted about puzzle games before, did he? And we can fill in all of those. That was quite a lot we could fill in right there and then. And we can also see right here, 2 and 2. Well, there's only one spot here where the 2 can go, so those 2 have to be filled in. Leaving us, after all of that, with just one space left to fill. 1 row, 1 column. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you hate puzzle games. This won't be very interesting to you. Oh, look at that, we got a pigeon. And at the end of that, you get a very pretty picture. So the first couple of levels, because they're just 5 and 5, they don't create very interesting pictures. But the more that you get into nonograms, the more kind of pretty little pictures you fill in. And that's a pigeon. The thing is, these puzzle games are huge in Japan, absolutely massive. You can actually buy books of these puzzles still in Japanese newsagents and stuff. And when you buy these books, and I've got a bunch of them that I've brought back from previous trips to Japan. Some of these puzzles are like 60 rows long by 50 rows up, and they take a full day to fill in. They can get very complex, these things. And at the end of it, you have this really lovely picture that you filled in. It's kind of like that appeal of finishing a jigsaw puzzle, that you've actually completed this nice bit of art underneath. Hello, Nook Gaming. Welcome to the stream. Not a fan of the puzzle game, but do like Miku. Yeah, this one will conflict you. You do unlock heaps of music in this, so this is a nice celebration of a Hatsune Miku as well. So that'll help you. And you do get the nice little icons there. It's a much better celebration of Miku than the iPhone game, which was a little bit dry for Miku fans. I actually like games, do I? Are you sure about that, Diddy? So we'll jump into the next one. Okay, so here we've got an interesting one. Nothing obvious to fill in straight away, but we do have these 2 rows of 8. Now, 8, when you've got 10, means that, oopsie, I made a mistake. Well, that's so handy, because I made the mistake it filled in there. Yeah, I shouldn't have put that there. These ones, in a row of 8, these ones are all going to be filled in, but there's no guarantee that the ones on either side will be. On the other hand, that one will be. I should do another stream of Dead or Alive Extreme, shouldn't I? Maybe I will, Diddy. Maybe I will. Alright. So, what we know here is that this row here, the column, is just one lot of numbers. So, we can't have that gap there. That must be filled in. Now, if this extends all the way here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, that one has to be filled in. Because at the very least, if we go as far up to extend, this could extend all the way up to here, but at the very least it's going to extend to there. So that was a safe fill in. What else can we chalk off right now? So we can chalk off that one, and that one, and that one, which means that that has to be there. And that fills in. And those 3 have to be filled in. Now, there's a column here. The first number is a 1. The second number is a 5, which means we need to have 5 in a row with the 1 being higher than that. Because of that, I know I can fill in this one. but nothing else right now. Ah. No, can't fill in that. Alright, here's a bit of logic. So the row here is 4, 1, 1. So we need to have 4 in a row, then at least one gap, and then 1. And then at least one gap and 1. So the 4 in the row obviously has to be here. And we need that to be a gap. So that would have to be the 4. And that needs to be a gap, so that's 1. Filled in those. Now that's 1. So those are all filled in. Not many games about a group of martial art lesbians fighting government authority. You have to make that game, Diddy. That's your challenge. Okay, yes, this is one we can fill in quite easily. We can fill this row in. So this needs to be a gap. This is the 3. Oops, no. What have I done? I want to uncheck that. I can't. What have I done? I can't get rid of it. Ah, that's 3. That was stupid. That was a stupid mistake. My logic failed me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What else can I fill in? Hello, Underlapped. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. We're puzzling right now. Ah, here we go. We can fill in this one. So even if this was to extend all this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, that and that fill in. Which means that that has to be 7. This has to be the 7. So 1, 2, 3. Oh no, those can be connected still. Let's not go there just yet. Oh, that has to be... No, it doesn't. I don't know if we'll get another Oni-Chanbara game, Diddy, unfortunately for you. We can fill in that one. There we go. No, that has to be a gap. Well, because that has to be a gap, this has to be the 4. So that needs to fill in. And then that has to be the 1. So that has to be the end of that. Cool. Fill that in. That has to be the 1, which means that's the 5. We're nearly finished this puzzle now. 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 7. We got there in the end. Took us a while. I used Watashi. I didn't know if to use anything else. It was a Christmas tree. All of that work to unlock a pretty Christmas tree. Took us 5 minutes. Alright, so I'll show you a slightly harder set of puzzles now. So these are the easy puzzles. These are the very easy ones. Oops. Down here, we've got this special. So you complete one big artwork by solving 15 by 15 puzzles. If we jump into this, so on top of the 345 normal puzzles, we also have these special ones, of which there are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 of these special ones, and these are big pictures. You fill in all of this, and you get one picture. And each of those is a 15 by 15 grid. I'll show you what happens. We jump into that one. So we need to solve this. We have to solve all of this. I told you these things can get complex. So we'll look for the easy numbers first. 13. Yes, 13. 14, 15. So it could be going either way to additional in any direction, but we can fill in all of those because it has to be those. Now, do we have an 11 there and a 3, so 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can actually fill in all of that because that totals 15. It's always handy to find the easy ones to knock off first, of course. This will be the same here, 10, 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gap 1, gap 1. So it could possibly go either way, but what we can be 99% sure of is just pulling out randoms there. Those... Hello Ray, welcome to the stream. Just talking through my logic badly as I play here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would mean, if we go from bottom to top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know that those have to be filled in at minimum. And we can do the same there, knowing full well that those will also fill in. It does take a while to get a hang of Picross. It did take me a while, a couple of games. I did always enjoy them, but I struggled with them back when I first started to play them on the DS. I think was the first Picross I played. Once you get the hang of it, it's like Sudoku really. Once you get the hang of them, they're not so difficult. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we actually know we can finish this. We can solve this one. 1, 1, because that's the only possible combination that can happen on that row. Excellent! This is great progress early on. Still no mistakes too. You're not sure? No, you solve them by filling them in. So as you would have just seen here, if I use that bottom row as an example, as you can see on the left of the row, you've got 1, 1, 1, 9. So that means that on that row there, you need to use 1 with a space, 1 with a space, 1 with a space, and then 9. So you've got to fill them in according to those rules. Those are kind of the rules that the puzzle is structured around. And yeah, so for this example, we've got 1, 1, 2, 7. So we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the very least, those 5 are all filled in. 1, 1, 2. No, that might not work. Ah, we can fill in the rest of this. So 10. So we know that these 2 filled in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we also know that those ones can't possibly be there. I'm sorry, I did say that this is the cutest Picross game, and I stand by it because look at the little Hatsune Miku in the corner there. Look, she's thinking. She's thinking real hard. How adorable. Oh, no, hang on. How do I get rid of those? Those aren't necessarily gone because I need to fill 2 in there. Okay. What else can we fill in? We can fill in this one, knowing that has to be part of it. And that would mean those 2 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That fills in as well. I am very biased. I freely admit that I am biased towards Hatsune Miku. Where else can we go here? So that has to be 3. That has to be 4. That one is definitely filled in. You do slowly get to You do slowly, very slowly fill these things up as you go along. So we know that these all have to be connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like painting. You slowly paint things. Oh, well, that one's been filled in, so that's 6. Well, these all have to be connected. That is filled in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think, yeah, I could have filled that one in earlier. So that's done now. What does that tell us? That there we go. So I can close that off. Close that off. 5. You're doing this exact puzzle as well. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually filling in these giant puzzles and seeing what the end artwork is at the end, because I think this is just one square of it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You have to fill all of them in, and then you finally get to see what the full picture is. Talk about an incentive. So that must be connected. So that will be out. Can't be out. Oh, it can be out. That would mean that would have to be out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. We can do the same rule here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We're starting to make progress. We're about halfway through, I think, right now. And I still haven't made a mistake, so I'm pretty happy with my progress. What are we going to do next? We are going to... Where can I go next? 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2. No, that's not going to fill out just yet. No, that's a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That has to be filled in. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gap. 1, 2. Gap. No. Don't quite have a handle of that yet. That has to be in. Okay, because that's a 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. That would mean that would have to be the 5. So I can fill that in. And then that's the 2, yep. Alright, what does that tell me? Got to concentrate when you get to these difficult puzzles. What does that tell me? Tells me that that one, 1, 2, 3, 4. I must be one of those school bullies, huh? How do you figure, did he? Well, I fill in 7. So I know that those can't be. That has to be the 2 either way. 1 gap 1. There's only one way that can work. There we go, filled in that row. I like how Miku does you a little cheer every time you fill in a row. Just on the left there. She just jumps up and skips for you. Okay, so that must be 2. That must be 4. And we still don't know about the top row, but those 2 connected. So we can tell that that is going to be finished, and that is going to be finished. And then those 2, and then that has to be 3. Miku's skipping for me twice there. I'm glad she's happy for me. 4 and 2, so that can't be. There we go. Finish that row. I know I've got to play Flowers Diddy. I promise you I'm going to finish Flowers in the next month. How's that sound? In the next month I will finish Flowers. Guaranteed. Cast iron guarantee. Now what was I doing? I was concentrating. So that has to be filled in because that's got to be 4. This one's for... Congratulations. 1 gap, 1 gap, 1. You finished before me. There we go. Finish that one row. 6 minutes. You're doing much better than me. I've taken 11 and I'm still probably in the last 25% of it to go. You've done way better than me. No, I said 1 game, Diddy. I finished 1 game this month. Well, that's a gap because that's a 1. Well, that must mean that one would need to be 2. Yep. Which means I can finish that row, that column. Cool. I can finish that column. No, I can't. That has to be erased. Whew. Save myself from making a mistake there. That's a gap. Can I finish this now? 1 gap. 1 gap 2. I've screwed up somehow. Bloody hell. I can finish that one. 2 gap. I completely missed that bottom bit, but I got to fix it up before it counted as a mistake for me. Fill in that. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That has to be filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes you just got to check the bits that you've obviously got that you've lost track of. That has to be 2 filled in that row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I made a mistake. Boo. At least I'll finish the puzzle now. I didn't want to make a mistake. I wanted to get this right. Oh well. It does happen sometimes. There we go. 14 minutes 16 with 1 mistake. And as you can see, that's nothing right now. That is just one part of the overall puzzle. So by finishing all of them, so what we've got 5, 10, 15, 20. You've got 25 of those puzzles to finish. When you finish those 25 puzzles, then you unlock a large portrait picture. So there's a lot to this game, in other words. Like I said, 345 regular levels in here. 345 regular levels to play through, of which I've barely touched any. I've done 1 there. I've done 2 there. So, yeah. 345 of those, and then another 9 lots of 25 of those. That's a lot of value for money for 13 bucks Australian. And when you do that, like I said, as you complete levels, you get little gallery pictures. So these are all official illustrations of Miku and the gang, and that is your reward for each completed level. You gotta, I mean, obviously if you're a fan of Miku, then that's a pretty good prize. So that's what I've unlocked so far. Yeah, I sometimes miscount numbers, I think. That's where my mistake comes from. And I get a little bit hasty to try and... Sometimes I do kind of guess. I think they're educated guesses. They're not always educated guesses. But I think I make an educated guess every now and again to figure out what goes where. And sometimes I get those wrong. So I'm not the most precise Picross player, but I enjoy them. Anyway, that is enough for this stream, I think. I just wanted to give you an idea of it. I don't usually do Thursday night streams, but it did just land on Switch and I wanted to share my love of Miku. I will have a review of this up on digitallydownloaded.net tomorrow. Have I ever played Murder by Numbers? Yes, I do like that. Do I like baking? I do indeed like baking, Dizzy. I'm very terrible at it. I burn everything that I try, but I do like it. I will have a review of this up on digitallydownloaded.net tomorrow. I'm going to sit down and play this for the rest of the evening now, but as you can see, I mean, you get a feel for what this game offers just from this last half hour. So, and the fact it's got Miku in it means you can probably guess the review score I'm going to give it right now. Have a good day, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with a full-length stream again because it is Friday night and we do Friday night streams. I'm not sure what we'll be playing yet, but it'll be good. Maybe Root Film. I do have to review that as well, but I'm not sure. I'll let you know tomorrow. Thanks as always for joining and watching, and we will see you next time.